Go in the comment section. Oh, yeah, Destiny sucks. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go do it over there.
Yeah. Today's video is sponsored by Enlisted, more on them a bit later. But for now, on to today's video. Datto put out a video on his YouTube channel basically pleading people who might be frustrated with the current state of D2 to take a break, go outside, and touch grass. My community really wanted me to watch and react to that video, so here we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Paris, the nicest place on earth to get lung cancer.
What?
My job does not stop just because I'm uninterested in the game.
How true, by the way, not to interrupt, but goddamn, I love this job more than any job I've ever had. So fun. I mean, I put a lot of hours into content creation and streaming, but there's days where I'm over the moon because I either get to stream really fun content or do something enjoyable. But there's other days where I'm just like, ugh, I have to stream. What the hell do I even stream? What do I even do today?
I saw an article come out talking about Diablo 4, and people are losing their minds over some of the endgame situation.
Right.
I do feel like it's a somewhat similar problem to other games. Eventually, there stops being new or challenging things to go do, and hitting that end point can feel really bad. The same thing happened to me on Borderlands 3. I've said the story a bajillion times. I hit max level, I got geared out, I beat all the hardest stuff, and then I was good.
That was kind of my feeling with Monster Hunter World. I thought it was a really fun game. I enjoyed it very much. It was cool. I loved the world and the environment and the armor and the creature design and the combat. I loved the flow. I kind of felt like when I hit a point with Monster Hunter where it was just kind of like, well, I've killed a lot of creatures and the only thing left to do is kill the same creatures and then make more armor out of the creatures, which I used the better armor to kill the same creatures. I don't know, but like it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it very much, but there's kind of a point where I was just sort of like ready to move on from that game, I guess.
It is something every game of this kind eventually experiences. And in a recent dev live stream, the Diablo 4 devs in season 0 of their game told people to just take a break. If you're feeling done, you're feeling burnt out, take a break.
That is A, bold and ballsy, and B, I respect that a lot. Wow, that is like fat, huge, massive cojones energy. Like the devs just coming right out and being like, hey man, if you're really over grinding to the point where there's nothing left for you to fucking do in the game and you're just like pissing and moaning about it, go touch grass, bro. Like, go outside. It's fine. We'll try to work up some new content for you, but in the meantime, don't get your thong in a twist. Like, we'll work on getting you more content. Go outside. Watch a movie. Fly a kite. Go to the beach. Do whatever. That's a ballsy move. I do respect it, though.
I don't know what it is about certain games that people just feel the need to permanently latch on even if they don't want to play anymore. I've literally said back to people like, well, you know, like, why don't you want to play anymore, or this or that, or like literally just ask the question back to them and
it's
they
probably
answer it on their own.
FOMO factors into it.
I don't know. I get it all the time throughout the history of the franchise. Pretty much every time I tell that person to take a break, which on occasion brings up the fear of missing out situation.
One, here we go.
That I think is not nearly as big of a problem as people think it is anymore. Because you stop playing a game doesn't mean you are banished from ever following it ever again.
That is true. I mean, depending on what changes when you're gone, yeah, it can be difficult to come back, but really not very difficult to come back because you just watch 1 or 2 tutorial videos on YouTube how weapon crafting works and how blah 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 works, and you don't even really miss a step. It's fine. Like, just whatever you're confused about, just go watch a tutorial on that. Yeah, you could probably take a break for a while. You could probably come back and be fine.
What are people afraid of actually missing out on at this point? If you don't farm an Omega God roll of the dungeon rocket, you're still going to be just fine playing the game. And if someone does boot you from a raid or give you problems for not having it, they're an asshole and you're better off not playing with that person anyway.
That's a really good point. Yeah, he's right that a certain handful of PvE super ultra Omega, you know, hot fire weapons, they're really only going to matter to, I don't know, like top speedrunning teams, players like Salta Grepo, our good friend Pepper Geppetto. Only a few weapons are truly like top upper echelon for PvE. For the vast majority of players, like, you're probably going to be fine. Like, oh, I don't have a god roll crafted retrofit escapade. Like, I got people mentioning that, like, how do I get the wicked implement? Because your strategy video said the retrofit escapade crafted. It's like, yeah, well, just use Thunderlord. Like, you'll be fine. Like, you'll literally be fine with Thunderlord. To PvP, to a certain degree, also potentially true. I mean, there are a lot of guns, even if you don't like, oh, I didn't get the god roll, 120 RPM Adagio hand cannon from Banshee at the Tower. It's like, yeah, but you're still gonna be fine. You can still go flawless in D2 trials with plenty of weapons that are free to play. There's very few scenarios where you might actually legitimately may be missing out on a gun that is so broken strong that, like, there's major FOMO. One great example would be like the Adept Immortal dropping in trials. If you came back to Destiny 1 week after the Adept Immortal dropped into trials and you had to wait multiple weekends for it to come back in order to acquire a God Roll Immortal, yeah, that would be a very rare situation where you might be experiencing major goddamn FOMO because probably everybody and their mother is using Immortal Adept in PvP at that point. That was before it got reworked and retuned and nerfed, even though it's still goddamn OP right now. Yeah, you can absolutely still go flawless in trials without the Immortal Adept. He's making a good point here. Even if you've paid for certain content in the past, maybe you paid for like half the content in D2, and then at a certain point you just stopped paying for content, I can guarantee you that whatever you may have in your vault, you could probably go flawless with or succeed in comp with. Quick timeout, y'all, to give a big thank you to Enlisted, the sponsor of today's video. Enlisted is the first-person shooter game for war history buffs. Jam-packed with over 100 historically accurate weapon, tanks, and aircraft, like the M4 Sherman and the VG2, you will be blown away by this game's attention to detail. Enlisted uniquely couples PvP with PvE combat together, allowing you to take command of a squad of AI soldiers and fight in massive battles with hundreds of targets led by other players. Enlisted offers multiple campaigns to explore, featuring their own unique weapons, vehicles, and equipment. From the outskirts of Moscow in 1941 to the heart of Berlin in 1945. In fact, the campaigns are incredibly varied, offering a completely new experience every time. And the challenge is there too. Fast time to kill and realistic vehicle damage makes the whole experience a ton of fun. Don't wait, click my link in the video description and check out Enlisted for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox. If you do, you'll get a free bonus pack including multiple weapons, soldiers, and premium account. All right, back to reacting to the lovable Datto giving us a dad talk.
If you're concerned about story, missing out on the story, there are tons of resources out there that will like not only break down the story from the week, but will dive into deeper detail that you likely would not have on your own.
One thing I think that some people may potentially be annoyed about is not necessarily falling behind in the story of Destiny, which is often very confusing anyway. The Veil, you know, yada yada. But one thing people might experience FOMO on is missing out on really big story developments that have, like, missing out on big spoilers, right? So, you know, for a great example would be people who learned via Twitter and YouTube thumbnails, which, by the way, spoiling things in the YouTube thumbnail, I can't believe how many times people spoil things in a YouTube title and a YouTube thumbnail and get away with it scot-free. If you were spoiled about Amanda Holiday, I could get how that would be frustrating. If you really wanted to keep up and experience these moments in the story for yourself without getting spoiled on Twitter or via a YouTube thumbnail, that I would understand. I feel like you have to treat some seasons of Destiny 2 story kind of like a new show on Netflix or whatever. You just binge it. I think it'd probably be a much better to just, if you don't want to fall behind in the story, just binge all the story crap in one session. It probably won't take you very long.
There's no more secrets on the internet. When it comes to this stuff, there's no more secrets.
So
I will tell you,
true.
someone will tell you, you know, wait for season recaps, wait for reviews, first impressions.
So true. There are no more secrets on the fucking internet anymore. We're gonna roll with the Amanda Holiday callback because I already mentioned that. When I went live on that day, I think I was doing other stuff. Like I think I was testing patch notes or something, or maybe I was late to the party. Maybe it took me a little bit of extra time to log in that Tuesday. Do you know how quickly in the chat I got spoiled by my own community? Go check YouTube when the mid-season patch dropped for season 21 and the Graviton Lance buff dropped. I think within a half an hour window, there were videos from me, Astrocross, Cool Guy, and Datto about how Graviton was buffed, and it's with a certain build, it is an insane ad clear weapon. It was like the same video from 4 different people, all dropped at the same time. There are no more secrets. Secrets are gone, especially if you play D2. Great point by Datto.
Trust when I say that missing 1 season, even 2 seasons, it's not going to be the end of the world. All these videos that people release, that I release, new meta this, new top DPS weapon that, new craziest build, it doesn't matter that much.
For the vast majority of Johnny day jobs who just want to, you know, beat the raid 1 time on normal mode, maybe hopefully get the exotic, maybe do 1 GM every now and then, or do a lost sector, or just catch up in the D2 story. Yeah, those people, like, it's fine to just play casually or play at your own speed or take a break for a while. If you miss a gun, there's going to be plenty of backup option weapons that will help you get the job done. It's really not that big a deal.
It's not that deep. You can take a season off, you can take some time away and still want to see how it all ends, or like come back for Final Shape and just play that. Like the Bungie marketing machine, dude, it's crazy. The community.
That is really true. Let me let him finish his point real quick. But yeah, I think I know what he's going into here.
The sentiment is so down right now. I'm talking like season 2, season 10 down.
Yeah, we're pretty down right now.
But you know, the moment that Bungie starts that Final Shape showcase, none of this stuff's gonna matter.
I'm hoping, knock on wood, knock, 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 that Datto is correct. Yeah, there's usually, for the most part, when we're down kind of as a community about the state of the game, all it takes is just one really goated preview, one top shelf, big dick baller showcase to just come out of left field and blow us all away with whatever it is that they're going to announce or include in the game in the future. Best trailers in the business. Yeah, for real. I mean, the hype machine is there, and we all know at its core that, like, when D2 is on, it is on. D2 is really on when it's on. Unfortunately, when it's off, it's also really off. But yeah.
Everyone's just gonna get hyped again. I'm gonna get hyped again. You're gonna get hyped again. That excitement's gonna return. I promise you. Or maybe it doesn't.
I hope.
That's okay. Maybe you just want to see how it ends.
Or maybe it doesn't.
It doesn't matter if you're a 50-hour, 500-hour, 5,000-hour gamer. Take some time off if you're not feeling it. You know, best thing that you can do for yourself. It's a video game. It's a thing literally designed for leisure. If you're not having a good time, just put it down. Come back later. It's not that deep. You know, it's really not that deep. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.
I was really hoping that Datto would just go, slap that like button like your mama taught you right. Good video by Datto. That was worth the watch. Again, remember to check out Enlisted for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox using the link that you can find in the pinned comment or video description.